Hey, hon, can you ask him for theirs once he's done with it, putting it into his system, then we can have it? Welcome, folks. I am Robert Lee, and this is MacNSeitz Black, playing in the Perfect Game 32 Select right now out of the Mid-America Sports Complex in Shawnee, Kansas. I tell you what, it's another beautiful day for some baseball, some unseasonably cool weather regarding summertime in Kansas and Missouri. I tell you what, so we're right here in the Kansas City greater metro area, and looking for a good doubleheader. MacNSeitz first up on the billing is going to be Prodigy Gallardo, followed by Competitive Edge Vest. And so we are eager to kind of get things underway. Looks like some of the games prior to us starting a little bit late, and so because of that, our game starting a little behind schedule as well. Prodigy Gallardo playing just before this game fell to KC Flight, and so they are now 2-1 in pool play. This will be their fourth pool play game, and this will be our third. MacNSeitz going 1-1 over the past couple of days, coming away with a win against the KBA Marucci and falling to BC Blue, whereas Prodigy Gallardo came away with a win against BC Blue and then just fell to KC Flight. They did pick up one more W, and I can't for the life of me remember who that was, but looks like our boys are just now running out to take the field. And I'll go over our starting lineup. Right now it is going to be Cooper McCowan, followed by Alex Kilman. Paxton Crowther. Hitting fourth is Parker Simons, followed by Seabass Wingrove, Bryson Spear, Grant Warren, Tucker Lee, Isaac Dixon, Gage Teeter, and then rounding out the lineup today is Cotton Killian for MacNSeitz. Still don't have a roster for Prodigy Gallardo, but we're working on trying to get that one. And once we do, we'll be able to include them in here on the broadcast. So once again, a beautiful, like I said, unseasonably cool day. Very overcast, so the sun's not really peeking through at this point. And it looks like we're in the low to mid-70s. And I tell you what a beautiful day. There's a little bit of a breeze kind of going. It's been pretty constant, and it's just let up here recently. But very comfortable weather for our MacNSeitz team. Starting out on the bump for MacNSeitz today is number 27, Tucker Lee. Oh, man. Those are going to be tough to read, huh?
Yeah.
All right. So Tuck drawing that start. Oh, you just want to try to write them down? So that is my my cohort, my assistant, my colleague, Delaney Lee. She's helping us get the Prodigy Gallardo lineup written down and all that. So Prodigy Gallardo, literally their game just ended not 15 minutes ago, and here we are, we're all set and ready to go. All of this going down much quicker than I anticipated, and batter is up. And first pitch is inside, and that is a hit by pitch, folks. MacNSeitz drawing that home billing right now. And it looked like after that ball hit the leadoff batter for Prodigy, went off of his elbow guard and then caromed off, and looks like it hit the catcher, which is Bryson Spear. So he's working behind the dish for us and has for quite some time. He is hurt in unit right now, and I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen. He is walking off of the field back towards the dugout. Not sure if we're going to have to make a defensive substitution or what the case might be, but he definitely is needing a quick minute here. So play is paused at least momentarily. And indeed, it does look like we are going to be switching catchers. So Tucker Lee out there on the bump, throwing back and forth to the second baseman, trying to stay warm. Got to say, I felt like the Prodigy Gallardo leadoff batter, looks like that was Owen, was definitely kind of crowding the plate a little bit. I don't know if that I would say that he stuck his elbow out in front of the plate, but man, it was awfully close. But no call there, and certainly a hit by pitch, so he earns his way out to first base. So defensive substitution now. Going to give this catcher a couple of balls there. Probably important to note, Tuck has not actually thrown to this catcher before, so we'll see how that works out. Velocity coming in 72 miles an hour right there, and pretty typically what we've seen with Tucker from a velocity standpoint is the velocity tends to go up as the game wears on. So imagine right now just a quick conference for them to talk about the signs and the pitch types. So not exactly the start that we were looking for. Not exactly the start that we were looking for, but one pitch and now one base runner. MacNSeitz will be looking to hold, obviously, Prodigy Gallardo here in the first. That's going to bring up number 15, Jake, for Prodigy. Big lead over there at first. Big lead. Slide step, and that goes off the glove of Ketch. Hard pitch coming in, fastball came in high, and that'll be a now 1-0 count. So runner is able to make his way over to second uncontested as that ball went in and out of the glove for Ketch. Now another gigantic lead over at second base. 2 pitches, 2 balls. That last one coming in 74 miles an hour. So now a 2-0 count. And pop up. This is left side. Cooper McCowan on the play. And that is good for out number 1. So a good pitch for Tuck right there. Dialing it back. Looking for that strike. And popped off the end of the bat. Now up to the plate is number 3, Ryder, for Prodigy. And all kinds of field maintenance going on there. First baseman Alex Kilman needing to tie his shoes. But all set now, and play continuing to resume here. That first pitch, ball down. So Lee, of course, working from the stretch right now. And a gigantic lead out at second base, folks. And a strike call there. Good-looking slider. Tell you, I really hope that MacNSeitz will start to work that base runner a little bit, because he is getting just farther and farther away. Right down the pipe. That one's fouled out of play. So Ryder for Prodigy, well behind on that pitch. Going out to the right side, just over the dugout. Ooh, good looking, but inside. That was a curveball, folks. Now 2-2 count. That ball coming in high, now full count for Lee. Swing and a miss. That's strike 3, and that'll be the first one on the day for Tucker Lee. So that'll make it 2 down now. Score still 0-0, and runner on second base. And a little bit of an awkward pickoff move right there from Lee, but runner back up safely. Kind of difficult to do a good pickoff move on these ridiculously undersized mounds. He starts number 24, Grant, for Prodigy, off with the ball, missing outside. Yeah, these mounds right here, I mean, that can't be much of a 6-inch rise. Really difficult for a pitcher who's been practicing and working really hard on the grind. So that makes it now a 1-1 count. But working on a full-size mound and then coming into a game-time situation and throwing off of these silly things, but makes that pickoff move a little difficult too. Well, almost a wild pitch right there. That one coming in behind the batter. That was his off-speed, and so I think maybe it did not get the horizontal break that maybe he's more accustomed to. Hot fastball right there, but that'll make it now a 3-1 count, and this is a good pitch for a hitter to go after. We'll see what Lee comes up with right here. And a strike call. Grant was headed down to first base, felt like that one was inside, but catching the inside corner, now full count. Still a really strong lead out there at second base. Little chopper, this one over to third or shortstop. And that is going to be out number 3. So MacNSeitz looking pretty good there defensively. Coming up with a pop out there in left field for Cooper McCown as he handled that. And then Isaac Dixon. Say again? So I'm getting some chatters from some of the parents wanting some more highlights, but Cooper McCown on a nice pop fly out there handling that, and then Isaac Dixon handling a chopping ground ball out there at short. 1 strikeout for Lee and a good start for MacNSeitz. Looks like starting up there on the hill for Prodigy. Looking for the name right here. I think that is is that 18? Looks like I got 2 16s lined up here, so I'll bet one of those is an 18. Not too sure who that is. And folks, obviously Prodigy Gallardo wrapping up a game just 15 minutes before the start of this one, if that. And so not uncommon for us to not be able to come up with that roster just ahead of the game. But interesting to see kind of where we're going to be at pitching-wise in regards to this game. And so 4-game guarantee, you've only got so many pitchers that can go only so many outs until they have no more games that they can pitch. And so obviously a ton of strategy, but Tucker Lee not having pitched any innings, and that's due large in part because Henry Block pitched a complete game in that first game. And then after that, Isaac Dixon got off to a great start in our second game, followed by Paxton Crowther, and a game that we were largely in control of against BC Blue. MacNSeitz falling there later in the innings, giving up a 3-run home run, but that was after a walk and then an error, putting 2 runners on. And man, my goodness, the enthusiasm, not the enthusiasm, but just that, the momentum of the game was really kind of getting away. So now stepping up to the plate, number 44, Cooper McCown. Ball in play, this one over to second base, and 1 pitch, 1 out for MacNSeitz. So you heard me talk about that yesterday, folks, if you were able to tune in, and that's just one of my huge pet peeves is you're a leadoff batter. You never swing at the first doggone pitch of the game. And it's just one of those things where it's like you want to see, is the pitcher going to be in control? Is that going to be the best pitch that you're going to see? And that one went right off the end of the bat, and sure enough, just a really easy, fieldable ground ball. Not hit really well. But I tell you what, Coop did have some nice hits here in the first 2 games, and so good to see him getting the bat on the ball. Now up at the plate, number 4, Alex Kilman. Nice little stroke right there, folks. That is going left side. It's going to roll back to the fence. Alex Kilman is rounding first, and he is headed up to second for a stand-up double. How about that? That may be one of his best hits of the whole season right there. And I tell you what, exciting for him to get that going. If MacNSeitz can get a little bit of energy, and all the guys are standing up, they're in the dugout, and it looks like they are ready to go. That's going to bring up number 21, Paxton Crowther. And a near pickoff attempt out there at second base. Nice looking pickoff move by pitch, and the shortstop moving in just behind him. But safe nonetheless, and play continues. Nice line drive. This one's going to get down for a base hit. And Paxton Crowther, who's been on a little bit of a tear, if you want to call it that, maybe in these first 2 games, in particular the first game, maybe more so than the second. But regardless, nice to see him continuing to get the bat on the ball. That'll put runners on the corners and just 1 down. Now up at the plate, number 27, Parker Simons. Runner goes, throw goes down, and Paxton is going to be out at second base. So I was just getting ready to say right before the pitch that Crowther, not one of the speedsters, did not have a significant lead and didn't get off to a great jump. And I got to say, not a high-velocity throw from pitch either, but a good throw down by catch, and that's going to be out number 2 for Prodigy. Strike call there, outside corner. It'll be interesting to see what this does to the momentum, because we had just 1 out and runners on the corners. Now 2 down and a runner on third. This one popped up but out of play, and that'll even his count. Now 2-2. That's one of the things that I think our MacNSeitz team has struggled with a little bit here, and that is, continuing that momentum and making sure that we're getting those runs across the plate. And we had a really good opportunity right there. I like to see the aggressiveness. This is a pop-up left side. Going to be handled by the left fielder, and that'll be out number 3. So after having 2 runners on, MacNSeitz stranding 1, and a caught stealing out there at second base. Well, that'll take us to top of the second, and we'll see if MacNSeitz is going to be able to hold them. Going a short audio break here, folks. If you have joined us today out on YouTube, please drop us a like, and if you could, leave us a comment, maybe one for your favorite player out there playing today. Really appreciate you guys joining us, and looking for some great baseball here today. All right, warm-up's just about complete right there. And leading off for Prodigy Gallardo is Kaiden, number 35. Little chopper, this one over to shortstop. And a nice looking out right there. That one, folks, and good to see him out there. That's Bryson Spear. He was the catcher that started out for us, and, man, he caught one pretty good. So good to see him back out on the field and continuing to play. That's number 16, Spence, at the plate. And a first pitch strike right there. Fastball outside corner. And Lee really looking to get into a rhythm right there. Back up on the hill and ready to go. Showing bunt. They lay one down. That rolls foul. Good hard pitch, and that ball probably went a little bit farther down the line than Spence probably anticipated or really wanted to. Third baseman playing a little bit far off the base right there. Woo! And a good-looking beauty of a ball, but it was a little bit high coming across the plate right there, and now 1-2 count. Really good horizontal and vertical break. Goes back to the fastball, and, man, Spence fouls that one off the inside of the leg, and he's hopping around. He's going to need just a second here. Dig those Prodigy baseball uniforms, man. We don't see a ton of it. You got kind of that muted OD, army green top with some muted black for the letters and numbers. White pants, green socks as well to match. Lee continuing to work now. 1-2 count still. And strike three. That is number 2, folks. And the MacNSeitz team throws that around the horn. That's going to bring up number 6, Kalen. So kind of getting a first glimpse of this Prodigy Gallardo team, and got to say, some of the kids not as big as maybe you would imagine. Nice ground ball right up the middle. That gets by the second baseman. And Prodigy up with a single. But just getting a load of some of these kids, they're not quite as big as some of the teams that we have faced. And, when you go in and really take a good look at it, they're a 13U AAA major team. So they're playing up today, as you often see with major teams. And hit by pitch, that'll be a dead ball. Runner will advance over to second, and, of course, the batter will make his way over to first base. So we got 2 down, and I tell you what, that fastball put a hurtin'. That's number 4, Travis, for Prodigy. So being a game guy, though, he's making his way down to first. He's going to walk that one off, and the infield going to show some class here and take a small break here while Kalen makes his way down. All right, boys, go back out to their positions now, and that'll be number 22, Jackson, for Prodigy coming up to the plate. Lee working with 2 outs here. Runners on second and first. Foul ball right side, and that is typically what we're seeing. Prodigy's actually doing a good job swinging the lumber, but they're just well behind on the pitches right now. Of course, I say that, and there was a nice single right up the middle here just short minute ago. Little pop-up, and Lee will handle that for out number 3. So Lee looking sharp, and that's exactly what MacNSeitz really needed. And we needed some sharp pitching and kind of get us started. Some good defense behind him, and we've seen that so far. Now, if we could just get some of the lumber going for ourselves, maybe MacNSeitz will have a good opportunity here for a W. But obviously, a lot of baseball here yet to go. Just taking us into bottom of the second. So once again, a short audio break, folks. As always, thanks so much for joining us. So Prodigy, Gallardo warm-ups all set and ready to go. Stepping into the box, number 10, Seabass Wingrove. Swing and miss on a curveball, that one down in the turf. And that has kind of been the case. Swinging early and often right away on those first pitches. Another curveball coming in. Wingrove does a good job getting the bat on that one, but fouls it out of play, and now he's down in the count 0-2. Catch setting up on the outside corner, and that pitch going well outside. Moves back out there again. And once again, pitch well outside. So now 2-2 count. Swing and a miss, drop third strike. And that'll be out number 1 as Prodigy makes a throw down to first. That's going to bring up number 3, Bryson Spear. So Bryson coming up with a nice play out there at short. See if maybe some of that positive energy will translate through to a quality at bat here. That one down in the turf, and you may hear a low rumble, low roar, and that is a train going by just behind the tree line over here and outfield. Nice hit right there. That goes right side, out of play. Barreled it up. Good to see some good solid contact right there. So after another one down in the turf, that'll make it now a 3-1 count. And ball 4. So Bryson Spear draws a walk. He'll quickly make his way down to first base, trying to pay attention if there's another opportunity to take an extra one. No going there, but that'll bring up number 15, Grant Warren. So good lead out at first. Certainly Bryson, not maybe, let's just go ahead and say it. Bryson certainly a little bit quicker than Paxton Crowther was. You'll remember there in the first inning, Paxton thrown out at second, and so we'll see if MacNSeitz is continuing to be aggressive. This is a pop fly, and it's going to get down, folks. Nice little piece of hitting for Grant Warren, and he continues to roll. I tell you what, I was talking to him just very briefly before the game today, telling him how good of a game he had. And I tell you what, he made some nice plays for us out at shortstop in our last game. Had a beautiful double, probably his biggest hit of the season, and continuing to roll there. Nice to see. This is now number 27, Tucker Lee at the plate, looking to help himself out here as he's the pitcher of record. So that pitch coming in 65 miles an hour. And I tell you what, this guy up there on the bump there, he's not a big guy, but he's getting everything out of that little frame of his, thrown in at 65. And it wouldn't surprise me one little bit, because this is a 13U major team. That could be a 12-year-old up there on the hill. But regardless, these boys still competing in the game. Score 0-0. Pickoff attempt over there at first. And Prodigy made it close. But Grant Warren doing a good job making his way back. And a strike call there, now 2-1 count. Little pop-up, that one out of play, and that'll now be a 2-2 count. Lee trying to take that one inside out. Got to figure that curveball's coming. It did not, and that was actually a fastball down, and that's why I don't play the lottery, folks. I'm not good at guessing anything. Ball outside, and that'll load the bases as Lee draws a walk. Number 79, Isaac Dixon, now at the plate. And MacNSeitz in good shape here to possibly bring a run across the plate. Of course, there's a force out at every base. Corners playing even with the bag. Middle infielders playing at double play depth. And a foul ball. Now Dixon down, 0-2 in the count. So Lee exhibiting some of his good speed out there. Gigantic lead And a back pick over at first, but he makes his way back easily. There's only one down. Always the danger on a big lead like that is that there's just one down, and you can always get doubled off. So a nice play out there at first base. Really nice play out there in right field, right along the line. So that's going to be an out for Dixon, who fouled that one. But Bryson Spear doing a good job tagging up, and the first run of the game. All other runners tag up and advance as well, and so that puts runners on second and third. Now Gage Teeter up at the plate. Big swing and a miss right there. Now 1-1 count. So Prodigy with 2 outs. MacNSeitz obviously leaving a number of guys stranded on the bases here earlier in the game. But finally getting one across the plate. Gives us an early, if not narrow, lead. Now 1-0. Foul ball out of play. And my cohort here telling me there's a malodorous odor wafting across the field. Smells like a skunk. Oh, a pass ball right there, and man, I think that could have been a good opportunity. So the ball actually caroms off, and man, this is unusual, folks. This is something you don't see very often right there. The ball pitched, caromed off the helmet of the Prodigy catcher, goes over towards the backstop and actually underneath the backstop, and so all runners awarded a base. That'll bring one home for MacNSeitz, and now the score 2-0. Still an RBI opportunity for Teeter. Swing and a miss, and that's strike 3. So that'll do it for MacNSeitz in bottom of the second, but not before they put up 2 runs and getting out here to an early lead. Still a lot of baseball here yet to go, and got to imagine Prodigy using a number of different pitchers. I can see the coach over here for Prodigy talking to his pitcher right now, hopefully giving him some encouraging words. And it looks like MacNSeitz will stick with Lee out there on the bump, and why not? He's done a serviceable job up to this point. So a quick audio break, folks. Left you with a little 7-Nation Army in the last half inning. Let's go to, Zorba the Greek. Okay, folks, here we go. Top of the third. And a first pitch strike. Boys out in the field looking loose. That's something you like to see. Hopefully everybody's ready defensively.
There you go.
And he blows that one right by him. 2 pitches, 2 strikes. And got to think he's sticking with the same thing. That one hit 75. But it was high and outside. And batter's battling right there. I don't have this batter's name because he's got number 18, and I've got 2 16s on the roster here, so. Strike 3 call, but it's a drop third strike. And throw going down. That'll be out number 1. So that is the third strikeout for Lee. He's continuing to look sharp so far. Is that number 22? That's number 20, so that's Prodigy making it all the way back around to the top of their lineup. Owen at the plate. He was right on top of that last pitch, folks. Really pulled it strongly foul. Man, I don't know where that pitch came in at, but was it way low? So I'm sitting back a little ways from the fence, and I could not quite have the right vantage point there, but now 1-1 count. I'm sorry, 2-1 count. That last one is now going to make it 3-1. And Tucker with another hit by pitch. Beating up on the Prodigy lineup a little bit here, and I tell you what, after you get a couple hard ones, that'll make the guys maybe back off the plate a little bit. No crowd going to go on here, not with Lee up on the bump. I cannot imagine that's what he intended to do, however. That one looked like it got a little away from him and maybe held on to the ball just a touch long. Owen, a very good base runner out there, huge lead. Little bunt going down third base line, but that does roll foul. And so Prodigy looking for a little small ball. That is number 15 at the plate, Jake, as he makes his way back to the batter's box after screaming down the front, the first base line. So Owen with that characteristic gigantic lead out there at first. Lee taking a look. Slide step. And a swing and a miss. So that'll be an 0-2 count now to Jake. So throws a good one in there, but Jake battles that off and now still working on an 0-2 count. That one fouled deep left, but well out of play. So Lee looking like he's not getting into that same rhythm I saw him getting into earlier. A little bit slower, more methodical approach right now. Goes to that curveball, but misses right there. Now 1-2 count. Good arm action, but that one just missing low and outside. Cannot tell you what a beautiful day it is out here today. I take a July like this all day, every day. And Lee coming back in again, that one high and inside. So at times looking super sharp and well in control, and others buzzing the tower. Runner goes. That pitch down in the turf, and that gets away from catch, and so the Prodigy base runner makes his way over to second uncontested. So play moving a little bit slowly here, and I'd like to see MacNSeitz get back more into a rhythm here. Shortstop working back and forth in between that base runner, and now number 15 gets hit in the doggone head right there by Tucker Lee, another hit by pitch. So that'll put runners on second and first. So another awkward pickoff attempt by Lee out there, and kind of unusual just the way he's turning around and throwing across his body, but no harm, no foul. Ball doesn't get away. So I can hear Prodigy coach over there on third base asking for a balk on that move. Didn't get it. Showing bunt. Pulls that one back. And now 1-1 count. Runner goes inside out, pop up over to second base, and MacNSeitz is able to double him off. So a nice job there by Seabass at second base. Quickly throws over to second, and that'll be out number three rather. So that'll end the half inning, and Lee looked like he was getting into a little bit of a trouble with runners on first and second after a couple of hit by pitches. But MacNSeitz for the moment here, still up ahead, 2-0. Okay. Ending with a little Sweet Caroline there for you. One of my all-time favorites. And a strike call there. That is number 23, Cotton Killian, at the plate. He's been working behind the dish for us. He's also the bottom of the lineup right now. Notably, Prodigy does move to a different pitcher, and that is number 3, Ryder, now up on the bump. And Killian chases that one down low and away. It'll be a 1-2 count now. Killian doing a good job there, trying to mess up the timing and rhythm of the pitcher, asking for a timeout. And does just so right there. Now 2-2 count. Swing and a miss. Killian goes down swinging. And that'll bring us back to the top of our lineup, number 44, Cooper McCown. So a little dribbler on his first plate appearance for an out. Showing bunt. Pulls that back. And good to see him being a little bit more patient. Showing it again. Oh, tried to lay it down, but missed. Third baseman was charging, and I'm surprised to see him do that again. I wasn't surprised to see him do that and pull it back, but now 2-1 count. Cooper with good speed for sure. And so when he is able to lay one down, he's out of that box quick. Chases an ill-advised one right there. Now 2-2. And now here we are at a full count. So Ryder on the bump for Prodigy. McCown at the plate for MacNSeitz. See who wins this battle. Swing and a miss. And Prodigy with 2 quick outs here to start and bottom of the third. That brings up number 4, Alex Kilman. Had a double on his first plate appearance. Called strike there. Ooh, foul ball. That one came off the catch a little funny. Looks like he's doing okay, though. And that is Kilman now getting down 0-2. So a lot of good action on that pitch, but not exactly with a ton of control. Curveball going high and outside. Now with that last one, that'll even up the count now, 2-2. Kilman really getting a hold of that last one on his first plate appearance. So good to see. Oh, ill-advised, chases that one up high, goes off the glove of the catcher, and that is going to be out number 3. All right, folks, well, that'll do it for us in bottom of the third. MacNSeitz still up 2-0, and a close one right here, so a narrow margin, but a quick audio break, and we'll be right back with you. So here we go, top of 4. MacNSeitz with Tucker Lee still up on the mound. Pops that one up out of play. That is number 24, Grant, for Prodigy up at the plate. So he'll start down here early in the count. Lee working from the windup. Fly ball, center field. And out number 1. So that is Paxton Crowther, folks, with a fantastic looking catch right out there. And I tell you what, I'm not able to tag Pax on that one because I didn't switch the cameras early enough. And my goodness, he covered some green grass on that one, comes up with the out. Not exactly a can of corn right there. And another first pitch strike for Lee. So Lee with 3 strikeouts on the day. So far pitching a shutout. This one popped up and characteristically right side out of play, as Prodigy's kind of been behind on the ball most of the day. This one line drive to second base, and Seabass comes up with that one. That is going to be number 16, Spence, at the plate. And Tucker Lee with another hit by pitch. And I think more Prodigy batters have made their way on base with a hit by pitch than in any other way. I don't know. I think that's number 3 or 4 on the hit by pitch. And this one coming inside. Ball gets away from catch, and the runner will advance uncontested. And so in a close matchup right here, giving up that extra base could be problematic. Ball in play. Right back to pitch, and that is going to be good for out number 3. So not exactly going 1-2-3 with another hit by pitch for Lee, but yet another scoreless inning. And so MacNSeitz still in control here, and that'll take us to bottom of the 4th with another opportunity to hopefully maybe an opportunity to get a little bit more breathing room. Looks like Prodigy will stick with the same pitcher they had in the last inning. And still quite a bit of baseball here yet to go. Folks, as always, thanks for joining us here on YouTube and Twitter. If you can, please drop us a comment, maybe a little encouragement for your favorite player. And be sure to like our video. We'll be back here momentarily.
All right, so while Robert runs to the restroom real quick. I'm going to pinch hit for him. Looks like we have Paxson up to bat. Fouled that first pitch off to the left. High, count of 1-1. And he took a strike there on that pitch. Kind of lobbed right in, didn't it? Nice hit. Short. And they got him. So we've got Parker up to bat next. And I'm going to hand it back over to the guy that knows what he's doing. Goodbye.
Unbelievable. Simons fouls that one back. Well, folks, nature calls, and I had to make a little visit to the little boys' room, and thankfully my better half jumping in here. Ooh, beautiful looking curveball. Missing outside right there. This ball in play right over to short, and man, some good footwork right there. That'll be out number one. Out number two, my apologies. Obviously, I'm getting back here a little bit late, but great job by that shortstop. He charged that ball the whole way. And I tell you what, he was more than halfway to first base before he even threw the ball. That brings up number 10, Sebastian Wingrove. And a strike call. And Wingrove stays in there and takes that one like a champ. And that'll be a hit by pitch as he makes his way down to first base. Only seems fair as the Prodigy batters have been not faring so well with Lee up there on the bump. I think peppering about 4 of them. 6 my pitches? No, it is not. So my statistician going to check the the game changer stats. That is now Bryson Spear at the plate. Little chopper rolls over on that one, stays fair, and I tell you what, he screams down the line. That's going to get down for an infield single.
They don't track that on game changer.
The hit by pitch, they do, but you have to have a.
Special.
Yeah, you have to pay for it. Okay, so now runners on second and first, 2 down. MacNSeitz looking for a little 2-out rally. That's number 15, Grant Warren. Been looking and seeing the ball really well. Let's see if with any luck he can keep that streak going. Got a runner in scoring position. Wingrove out there at second. Maybe not the speediest speedster on the team, but certainly not slow by any measure. Figure a good single going to the right spot, Wingrove would have an opportunity to score. Well, that last pitch down evens up the count now 1-1. And a pickoff attempt, but nobody there. Just looking to keep the runner a little bit more honest. Pop up, left side. And the left fielder collects that one for out number 3. So after 5, score is 2-0, favor of MacNSeitz. For the most part, it's been a clean affair on both sides of the ball defensively. No huge errors leading to big runs. And it's good to see good, clean baseball. These young guys working so hard off season, in season, and all that, putting everything they've got into it. And it looks like MacNSeitz will stick with Lee out there on the bump. He's pitching a shutout so far. He does, and at times he's seemed incredibly sharp. Topped out at 74, been sitting kind of low 70s. And but he's had 5 hit by pitches. So I was 1 behind, you were 1 over, and we met in the middle, and that's 5. And so Lee not asking for the same number of warm-up pitches as he feels warm and ready to go. That is number 4, Travis, for Prodigy up at the plate. Lee will begin working from the windup. That one coming in maybe just a bit high. Now 1-0. Oh, and awarded another hit by pitch. I don't know about that one. That touched the shirt. I didn't see the ball change direction at all. I don't know about that one. But you know what? You're not going to get every call, and that's just how it is. Umpiring staff, so far this game has really done a very good job. And you're never going to like every single call in a game, but these guys haven't done anything that's substantially changed the game with like a missed call or a bad call, anything like that. And, you know, I think that's one of the undervalued aspects of these guys being out here. If we don't have umpires, we don't get a chance to play the game. And so I, for one, very appreciative of their services. Back pick over at first. No go there. Now 1-1 count. And Prodigy with a pretty good lead over there at first. That is Jackson at the plate. Runner goes. Had a nice jump right there, and honestly probably didn't even need to throw down. That is Cotton Killian behind the dish for MacNSeitz. Little chopper, this one over to short. And that's good for out number 1. Runner holds at second. And that was Alex Kilman at short. So we've seen a number of interesting defensive substitutions that we don't always typically see. Sebastian Wingrove almost holding the runner on at second base. Certainly not one of my favorite things defensively to do, holding the runner on. Got a huge, gigantic gap there, and with Tuck being a little bit higher on the velocity spectrum, we've seen a lot of balls going opposite field. I do see Wingrove kind of making his way out to try to get back to his position, but still not quite in that customarily, position second base position because he is running back from second base.
You got this, 2-7. You got this.
And Lee missing a couple up there high.
There you go.
Swing and a miss. Now 2-2 count. Pop up left side. This one is deep, folks. It's got a chance. It gets to the fence. A run does score. And Prodigy up with a double. An RBI double at that. So shutout now done and over with. Score now 2-1 and a close matchup right here. This one going inside out and out of play. Pop up, this one center field. And that's good for out number 2.
Good job, Paxton.
So runner on second, 2 down, top of the 5th. Laying that bunt down, but it goes foul. And so Prodigy on a number of occasions today trying to work that bunt, have had yet not any ability to be successful laying the bunt down. And so a short conference between Lee and the catch. Maybe talking about pitch type or pitch location. Takes out a new baseball to him. We'll see how that fares. So Lee, of course, working from the stretch, takes a deep breath, and he delivers. So at times looking sharp, and then other times not looking like he's got the control that he's needed. He's had 5 hit batters. I will say that run that came across was a hit batter, and I'm really surprised. This ball gets through the infield. Nice looking attempt by the third baseman to get that ball, but no going there. So that one gets through for a single, and that'll put runners on the corners. So Prodigy threatening. That is now number 3 rider at the plate for Prodigy. This ball gets by the second baseman who was out of position. 1 run scores. It goes all the way back to the fence. 2 are going to score. And a 2 RBI single after the late throw coming in. He makes his way over to second. And now Prodigy Gallardo up 3-2. Not sure exactly what Wingrove was thinking there. It looked like he was heading towards second base to cover. And just completely out of position. That one gets by right in that customary position for a second baseman. Looks like Coach Wingrove out there on the mound wanting to discuss with the players. Maybe check on Tuck, see how he's feeling right now. But certainly a close matchup and a much-needed win right here for MacNSeitz. As I mentioned before, this tournament a little bit unusual in that it's a 4-game guarantee, and all those 4 games are part of pool play. So only the top 5 teams will progress to bracket play tomorrow on Sunday. So Lee not giving up that ball, and Wingrove giving him a long leash. Starts off with the first pitch strike right there. This is number 24, Grant, at the plate for Prodigy. Ball in play, right back to pitch, and that is good for out number 3. Prodigy hustles back into the dugout, and now they've got some lifting to do because they are down a run. So after being in charge and in control most of the game, those hit by pitches coming back to bite MacNSeitz, and some untimely or timely hits if you're on the Prodigy side of things. Come up with a couple of RBIs right there, and now enjoy a 3-2 lead. We'll go on a short audio break, folks. Once again, always appreciate you guys being here and joining us. All right. So, folks, here we go, bottom of 5, and now Tucker Lee looking to help himself out. Puts one in play.
Go, 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 go! Nice job, Tucker!
And so Tucker Lee legs that one out after putting a grounder in play over to first base. So an infield single right there, and I got to give some credit out there to Jackson for Prodigy at first base. He dove to make that, put the glove on that ball as that single was getting ready to get through the infield. Swing and a miss. And Prodigy catcher largely been unchallenged here. If you remember back in the first, he was able to throw out Paxton Crowther on an attempted steal. But the tying run represented on first base. Obviously the batter would represent a go-ahead run. So Ketch doing a great job moving laterally and keeping that ball in front of him, not giving up the base on a pass ball. So Dixon now working with a 3-1 count. Dixon battles, fouling that one out of play on the right side, and that'll now be a full count. This one in play, center field, and it does get down. Lee had to hold up there about halfway, and he's able to make his way over to second. So Dixon coming up with a single right there And nobody down. So MacNSeitz threatening early here in bottom of the 5th. Now number 49, Gage Teeter at the plate.
I know it wasn't. Did you not know that? You're not going to be able to win.
Pickoff attempt at second. Lee's able to make it back in time. So Dixon at first, Lee at second, and Teeter at the plate. So back-to-back pickoff attempts. Can't imagine with any outs that there's going to be a steal on it all. Obviously, nobody down. Here's a situation where I believe that, bunting down the first base line might make a lot of sense. Obviously, Teeter a little bit on the stouter side of things. Not exactly a speedster, but getting those two runners over into scoring position could be huge. And a near miss right there. Count now 1-1. That one down in the turf, and Teeter wisely lays off. Strike call. Now 2-2 count. Another pickoff attempt. And Prodigy doing a good job trying to keep the runners at bay. And a hit by pitch. Teeter will take that one for the team. And that'll load the bases. So bases loaded, nobody down. And now number 23, Cotton Killian at the plate. It looks like Prodigy is going to make a pitching change right here. So a couple of defensive substitutions, and he's moving guys around. So left fielder. Oh, he's not making the pitching change just yet. My apologies, folks, but he does pull the left fielder, and he's going to take him out of the game to warm him up. So he immediately heads out over to the bullpen. So looking back on some of MacNSeitz' past games, you think, gosh, we're in such a strong position right here. Nobody down, bases loaded. To me, this is where a bunt would make all the sense in the world. So 2 pitches, 2 swings, and no contact just yet. And a wild pitch. That one jars the backstop camera a bit, but we're still up and running. Killian asking for a timeout. Runners head back to their bases. And he fouls that one back. And he fouls another one off. So Killian with a quality at bat here so far, battling. Count still well in favor of pitch. Still at 1-2. Only need one and just need to put that ball in play. Pops up right side. And the first baseman so Killian with a pop-up goes right side, foul territory. He's out, but the runner on third tags, and he's able to make his way home. The rest of the runners advance as well, and so that ties the game up now 3-3. MacNSeitz still threatening here with runners on second and third, and now at the top of the order, number 44, Cooper McCowan at the plate. Chases that one up high. And a strike call. McCowan jumped back on that one. He thought it was well inside. So the dugout up on the fence, expectantly waiting. And McCowan fouls that one back. Alex Kilman looking on from the on-deck circle. And McCowan with a little waggle in the bat. Swing and a miss. And that'll be strike three. So really needing to just put that ball in play on that one. Now what we're going to need is at least a single in order to have that go-ahead run. Kilman stepping into the box, all smiles. Not sure what the Prodigy coaches are waiting on over there. There's two down. There's two down. I've got two. So Prodigy a little confused. They thought maybe that was possibly the third out. I had it only down as two, and perfect game. Interesting to say, they have a representative down here that's not on the field. They had it down as just two outs. I have it down as two outs. And I mean, we can replay the video if you want. It's just two, bud.
So what two outs? Well, then let me get my book straight. So what two outs do you have? So who do you have back?
All right, folks, so play is going to halt here for a moment. Prodigy's double-checking with the perfect game representatives. And their book is a little messed up right now. And they're not messed up, but they're just double-checking their book, rather, and just trying to confirm whether there are two or three outs. And so that is the reason for the stall in gameplay. I'll go on a brief momentary pause right here. I'm going to go ahead and repair one of my cameras. Oh, never mind. And as fast as it was questioned, it's resolved. So not sure where the confusion was, but here's the situation. Bottom of the fifth, game tied 3-3. Runners on second and third, and Alex Kilman at the plate. Fouls his first pitch back, and now working with an 0-1 count. As you can see, all my cameras taking a beating right now. I don't have my center or that one, so we'll go with this one until I'm able to get back up there. So not the best view for a right-handed batter. Line drive, this one. Center fielder is able to haul that one in, and that is out number 3. So MacNSeitz, while they're not able to get the go-ahead run, crazy to say, had just one down and had the opportunity to get another run in, that go-ahead run. I would have loved to have seen them lay a bunt down and get that run in. And instead, we end up with a strikeout and then a pop-out. And so as such, game all tied up and even, 3-3. That'll take us to top of the 6th. Small audio break as I try to get these cameras reset. Okay, folks. So top of the 6th. And now Gage Teeter at the plate. Or I'm sorry, up on the hill. So there was a pitching change right there. Prodigy making their way through their lineup a couple of times here. And Teeter giving up a home run. No, my apologies, folks. That is a ground rule double. I'm still not quite well situated, and my vantage point, I didn't quite catch that. I saw the left fielder throw his hands up, but he must have done that after the ball bounced. So I was a little surprised. I thought maybe we'd see Tucker Lee come back out. So now 1-0 count, runner on second, and nobody down. Pop up. This one's going to be center field. And Cooper McCowan with an error. He drops an easy one right there, and The batter will make his way first base, reaching on air. So that puts runners on second and first, now nobody down. That does create a force. And wow, MacNSeitz making a defensive change here and moving Paxton Crowther out to center and bringing Cooper McCowan off the field. Prodigy lays a bunt down, but it once again rolls foul. So no luck on the bunting side, but that's exactly the kind of thing that I think I would have called for. You got the go-ahead run on second base. You got runners on second and first, and a nice bunt put two runners in scoring position and just one down possibly. Maybe even giving them the opportunity to make their way on base. Runners go. He lays a beautiful one down, and he's up with an infield single. So after attempting a bunt over at third, my goodness. Prodigy doing a good job right there. So now bases loaded, nobody down. And MacNSeitz looking for 3 down. They just need to start with 1. And a pass ball. Fortunately, the runners hold. Pop up left side. This one's out of play. And it looks like we're out of baseballs, folks. So play is kind of halting for the moment, as we're looking to try to find some baseballs for the umpiring staff. So Teeter now has a batter down on a 1-2 count. And something goofy going on with my pocket radar right there. That one registered 115 miles an hour. Pretty sure that's not the velocity. Well, that one missing just outside. So it's a full count, folks. Bases loaded. Full count. And a very pivotal pitch right here with a tie ball game. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, so Teeter coming up with a strikeout right there. So now just 1 down. Number 22, Jackson for Prodigy up at the plate. Teeter, of course, working from the stretch. MacNSeitz in trouble and looking for 2 more outs here in top of the 6th. Jackson fouls that one back. So a close game right here. Pop up. Second baseman calling for it. And that's Wingrove coming up with out number 2. And Teeter starting with a strike on this. That is number 18, Cooper, at the plate. So that's bottom of the lineup for Prodigy. 2 down, bases loaded, top of 6. Tie ball game. And Cooper down on an 0-2 count. Oh, this is number 2. They may have that name wrong. That looks like Drew. Looks like there has been a substitution there. So that is Drew up the plate for Prodigy. An 0-2 count nonetheless. And he rips one down the left side, but it goes foul just before the base. So Prodigy Gallardo falling to KC Flight 5-3 just before this game. Losing a close one there, and they're threatening with the bases loaded and 2 down. Nice looking pitch right there, missing outside. It was a good miss. And a wild pitch, but Ketch doing a great job. That's Killian gloving that pitch, came in behind the batter. Now 2-2. This one a little dribbler as he rolls over, and that one foul out there on the left side. Tell you what, these cameras are indicative of the kind of game that we've had. Been a little bit of a rough one. 3-3. They'll pop up right side. And Kilman loses his footing as he's trying to make his way from first over to that foul territory. Ball gets down before he's able to get there. Would have been a stretch even if he had had his footing. But Drew continuing to put that bat on the ball. See who wins this battle right here. He strokes this one deep left, but it is well foul. And he has put the bat on the ball almost every pitch, I think, for the last 4 or 5 pitches. So this is, in every sense of the word, an absolute battle. And again, I guess we're playing baseball now with one baseball. So after all the foul balls and some of these balls not coming back to the field of play, we're having to chase one down just to find a doggone ball to play with. Maybe just adding to the anticipation. Bases loaded, 2-2 count, 2 down. Top of 6, tie ball game, 3-3. Strike 3 call. And man, oh man, Gage Teeter coming up with a big one right there. Got to give hats off to Drew for Prodigy as he really battled an excellent quality at bat. So this will take us to bottom of 6. And MacNSeitz will have an opportunity to bat. Looks like game time has expired, so we will get to finish our at bat. This really kind of puts us in an untenable situation. If MacNSeitz is not able to come up with a run this inning and win the ball game, that would come down as a draw, as there are no extra innings in pool play. And as we talked about, in a field of 19 teams playing in the Perfect Game Select 32, there are 4 games in pool play, and tongue twister here, 4 games in pool play. Only 5, the top 5 seeds will move on to bracket tomorrow on Sunday. And so conceivably, what most teams are going to need to be in that top 5 are at least a 3-1 record in pool play. Prodigy Gallardo now 2-1, needing the win. Does not look like they will get it. I think their best outcome at this point is going to be a draw. MacNSeitz 1-1 in pool play and needing this win right here for any chance at bracket play. And we still have a game yet to come up, which is going to be against the Competitive Edge Vest. So certainly a close matchup here, and leading off for MacNSeitz is now number 21, Paxton Crowther. Paxton been seeing the ball really well here. That is now number 35, Kaiden for Prodigy up on the hill. So Kaiden working from the windup. Crowther a lefty. And a little gamesmanship by the pitcher. Little leg stall there at the top of his windup. Trying to throw off the timing. And Crowther doing a good job just getting the bat on the ball, battling. That's 2 curveballs back to back. And to Kaiden's credit, right there in the zone. And Crowther ropes this one left side and a leadoff single. So, folks, that is the go-ahead run. And I tell you what, if you remember all the way back in the first inning, Crowther attempted to steal, thrown out at second base, so not a speedster. Number 27, Parker Simons at the plate. Takes the first pitch for a ball. So all too interesting to see what MacNSeitz will do here. Certainly just about anything and everything in play. Crowther being very conservative over there at first base. Do not anticipate him stealing. Ball in play, this one over to short. This could be a double play ball, and it is. So just like that, with MacNSeitz starting off with a leadoff single and what conceivably was a lot of momentum going into the bottom half of this 6th inning, Crowther unable to steal second and comes up with a double, and Prodigy comes up with a double play. Now MacNSeitz down to our last out. And Sebastian Wingrove at the plate. Swing and miss on that first pitch. A little chopper, this one right back to pitch, and that'll be good for out number 3. So that, folks, that is the ball game, and that will be a draw. So MacNSeitz in pool play going 1-1-1. Prodigy Gallardo now 2-1-1. And so unfortunately, after a pretty strong showing here early, and a tight matchup, Prodigy Gallardo coming up big here late in the game. Gage Teeter coming in late, coming up with a big pivotal out with the bases loaded. And unfortunately, that's the way that this goes. Well, folks, if you hang in with us here for just a bit, we are going to have that next game coming up here just shortly. I would imagine in the next 10 to 15 minutes, we will start for MacNSeitz versus Competitive Edge. Thanks so much for watching. Drop us a like on the video, and my goodness, let's go MacNSeitz here on that next game.